Good morning. I hope everyone is having a great day. This is Mr. Renfro at Cedar Edge Elementary School, and it's been a couple months since I've had an opportunity to give us a little bit more information, share a little bit more information about what we have going on here at the school in terms of data. And so we want to continue to be accountable all the time. And so this will be this month's accountability feature, just to keep all of you great parents in the loop about where we are in terms of data, and we're going to focus on dibbles mainly this month. What you're looking at currently is you can see up here, it's our composite score. So this is where all the different measures for each grade level are factored in, and this is our whole school. And we're compared here with the whole district. So you can see the district began, and this is every elementary school student in the district. We were right on par, both the district and Cedar Edge Elementary School. We're both at 61% of our students were at benchmark, 16% of our students were strategic, and 23% of our students were intensive. Obviously, I'm very encouraged by what we see here from beginning of the year to middle of the year, because while they saw a 7% increase in terms of students at benchmark, we saw a 10% increase, and you can see that there. We're really excited about that growth just in terms of the overall composite. We did shrink the number of intensive students greater than the district as well. And so overall, this is very encouraging information for us to continue using to say, hey, we're headed the right way with CKLA, with our reading interventions, with everything that we're putting in place here at Cedar Edge Elementary School. Now we just need to keep going. And this is not the first time Cedar Edge Elementary School has had these types of trends where we see a nice jump from beginning of the year to middle of the year. And sometimes when you see that first jump, it's easy for a school to get a little stagnant or to flatline a little bit. And so our job for the remainder of the year is going to be to make sure that doesn't happen. As we turn our attention to another piece of data here, you can see this is fluency, and this is, when we talk about fluency, we're sometimes typically talking about how fast students are reading. We don't want students to be speed racers, of course, because if they're reading so quickly that they're ultimately not, remembering or comprehending what they're reading, that's a problem. And so we want to make sure that they do have enough fluency, that they're not tripping over words, and they're able to continue to read at a level that is pleasing to them, that is enjoyable, and then ultimately accuracy and comprehension and all those other pieces make for great readers. You can see same type of format here. This is the district up top. This is Cedar Edge Elementary School below. Once again, when it comes to fluency, we saw better growth in the district overall. When it comes to fluency, we often do fluency practice in drills called like 6-minute solutions and different drills like that allow our students to continue to become more fluent. And we're going to continue to enforce that and reinforce that as we go. You'll notice there's a little bit of difference here in the number of students from beginning of the year to middle of the year. This number also includes first graders. When they start their first grade year, they're not assessed as when it comes to the DORF fluency. It's more whole words read. It's the different measures that are typically brought over from kindergarten and reassessed again at the beginning of the first grade year. When it comes to middle of the year, though, at that point, they are added in, and so this reflects our first graders as well as they're continuing to grow as readers and start that process. So that is our fluency, and you can see very encouraging. This last one we're going to look at this morning just has to do with accuracy, and accuracy is oftentimes we'll put a little priority to accuracy over fluency. We want our students to be accurate readers, and then as they increase that accuracy, we want them to gradually continue to speed up so they can find that great pace when they're reading. And then, like I mentioned, then at that point we're ultimately, this is all about comprehension. We want them to be able to comprehend what they're reading. In this category, we were a little bit behind the district in terms of just the number. You see a 7% growth from the number of students at benchmark for accuracy, and we're at 6. And so that's something that we're keeping a close eye on. And with our CKLA program and the ELG grant that our school has received. We also have a consultant by the name of Jill Youngren who works with us to make sure that we're helping students across the board. It doesn't matter if we're talking about students that are intensive and are struggling as readers, or we're talking about kids that are on the upper echelon of what we're doing as a school. We want to make sure we're moving them all forward. There's no time or place for anyone to become stagnant, and so that's going to continue to be a focus for us as we move forward. So that's just kind of a quick update in terms of where we are when it comes to Dibbles. I started out our semester by putting a blurb in the Tuesday Express that just expressed that we are close. When we come back to this major, this is our composite. Our goal is for this number here to be 80% by the end of the year. That's always the goal, and it's an amazing goal to reach for, but it's something that I think we have to just continue to aim for. And so please continue to read with your children at home. Please continue to encourage them to be great readers, and we're going to continue to do everything we can here at the school level to help them. With that in mind, I just want to give a couple quick reminders of some upcoming events. We do have our spring conferences, which will be February 7th and February 9th from 4 to 8 p.m. This is a great chance for you to come in and visit with our teachers about where your child is at specifically, and we can continue to work together to make sure that we're discussing the progress that has been made up to this point, and then we're also discussing next steps. In addition to that, we do have our Parent Den meeting, which will be coming up on Monday, February 13th. That's our Parent Den meeting and potluck. So food's provided, the great folks to visit with and to catch up with. And we'll have a couple grade levels on hand to kind of share what they're doing day to day, which is really always neat. And then there's going to be lots of planning too. We have Donuts with Dad coming up this semester, coming up in March. We'll have our spring fundraiser coming up the beginning of April. And we're not going to be selling items this year. We're going to do something entirely different. So we are very excited about that. So lots of great events coming up that we'd love your input on. So February 13th is our Parent Den meeting and potluck, and we hope that you can make it. February 14th, we'll have our Valentine's Day parties at the end of the day. And then that next week, February 20th to the 24th, we don't have any school for February because of February break. So those are some upcoming events that we're headed towards. I hope that this has been informative for you to see kind of where we are as a school. I really do believe that we're heading the right direction. Sometimes when we implement a new program, it's very common for schools to see an implementation dip where they don't see as much growth that first year as teachers really try to get used to the program. But our teachers have been working so hard. They've been doing such a great job, and our students have been working really hard. And so this is encouraging to me to say, we might be able to avoid that implementation dip and just keep pushing forward. And the whole purpose of CKLA has been, we want to make sure that K-5, all of our students are receiving an aligned reading curriculum. So that way we don't have any students falling through the crack. All our interventions and all of our Tier 1 work build to our students leaving 5th grade as excellent readers, as excellent thinkers, ready to take that next step. So I hope you're encouraged about where we're going. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, we are always here to address them. We can be reached at 856-3885. And otherwise, thank you so much for taking a few moments to watch our presentation here. I hope you have a great day.